Okay, so when you have finished your Wishghan and you're ready to do the final border around the outside, we're going to do what's called the iris stitch border. And what I like to do first is to single crochet around the entire outside of the blanket to create a nice foundation for us to work into with our border color. Okay, so we do have a single crochet there, but I want to go ahead and just do one more row of single crochet. So first I'm getting my border color. This is the Pistachio by Lion brand. This is the color that I used as the background for the center square where Whimsy is. So I wanted to go ahead and tie that color in again on the outside. The only other time that I used this in the blanket was on the square that Whimsy's in. So what you're going to do first is you need to first attach your yarn. So find your corner, whichever corner you want, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch to connect. So you go in from the front to the back, yarn over, pull through, and then just pull through that final loop on the hook. Pull nice and tight. Now you're connected to the blanket. You're going to go ahead and do a chain one, and then we're going to go ahead and on each of the corners we're going to do a single crochet, chain two, single crochet. So let's go ahead and do one single crochet first. So you go in, yarn over, pull through, two loops on the hook, yarn over again and pull through. There's your single crochet. Now chain two, you just yarn over and pull through. There's one, yarn over, pull through, there's two, and then in the same stitch that you're working in you're going to do one more single crochet. Okay, so that's created your nice corner that we're going to be working the iris stitch into. Now that you've done that, we're going to go ahead and just single crochet until we get to the other corner, and then we'll do that same pattern again. Okay, once you reach the next corner, you're going to go ahead and do a single crochet, then a chain two, and a single crochet in the same stitch before continuing on single crocheting along the side. And see, that creates that nice corner right there. Okay, so we've gotten back to the very first corner that we did. So what you want to do is you're going to slip stitch to connect, and you're going to slip stitch in that chain space that created that corner. Okay, so go ahead and slip stitch to connect. There you go. Now we've finished our first round around to the blanket. Now we're going to start doing the iris border stitch. Okay, now that we've done our foundation single crochet. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to chain three, and that counts as your first double crochet. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we've done our chain three. Now we're going to be working into this same corner space here. Okay, so we're going to do chain one. Now do another double crochet into that same space, that same chain space that created the corner. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and chain two. Okay, now go ahead and also still in that same space, we're going to go ahead and do another double crochet, chain one, and then another double crochet. And this is all in that corner space. Okay. So you can see you've got your corner here. We did a chain three, then that was our first double crochet, chain one, then a double crochet, chain two for the corner, double crochet, chain one, double crochet. That is your corner. That's what we're going to do in each of the corners. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is we want to continue along the side. In order to do that, we need to go ahead and we're going to skip 3 of the stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then we'll work into the 4th one here. Okay, so from here we're going to go ahead and skip 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. We're working into this 4th stitch here. We're going to go ahead and do 2 double crochets. So here's 1. Yarn over, go in, yarn over from the back, pull forward, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through another 2 loops. So there's the first double crochet. Now you're going to go ahead and chain 1 and then do another 2 double crochets. This is all in the same stitch, okay? Here we go. All right, so you're creating sort of a bumpy look around the outside, okay? Like a wave. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip another 3 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3. Working into the 4th stitch, we're going to go ahead and do 2 double crochets. There's 1. Here's 2. Chain 1, 2 double crochets into that same stitch, creating your little bump. Okay, so there you go. You've got your corner. There's 1 and there's 2, okay? And then you're going to keep doing that same pattern all along the side until you get to the next corner. So I'll do one more with you, and then I'll go ahead and let you finish up doing the row along the side of the blanket until you get to the corner, and we'll come back together for that. So we're going to skip again 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. Going into the 4th stitch, do your 2 double crochets. And this is 2. Chain 1, and then 2 double crochets into that same stitch to create your nice bump there. All right, there you go. There's another one. So we've done our corner and we've done 3 together. Go ahead and continue on down the side of your blanket, and I will meet you when we get to the next corner. Okay, so I've gotten to the other end, or the other corner. And at this point, you're going to do the same skipping. It may not end up that you have 3 that you're skipping like usual, 3 stitches, but either way, doesn't really make a difference. Like here, I've got 1, 2, and then into this one is where I'm going to work. So into that chain space is where I'm going to work my corner, okay? So for the corner, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in that same space, okay, chain 2 to make the next corner. Still in that same space, we're going to then do another double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet. Okay, and that's our corner. So we've got double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 2 to create the corner, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, that's your corner, and now you're going to go ahead and continue up the next row of stitches here by doing the same as you did before. So you're going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do your double crochet into that 4th stitch. Okay, and then continue on doing that same pattern. So another double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, so 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Those are what you're going to do along the sides until you get to the next corner. And again, on the corners, you're going to do 1 double crochet, chain 1, another double crochet, chain 2 for the corner, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. That gives you your corners, okay? So go ahead and finish off doing this row until you get to the beginning corner that you did. Okay, I'll meet you back then. Okay, so once you've reached the corner and you've done your full first round of doing the iris stitch border, you're going to go ahead and slip stitch right in here on this corner space where that chain 1 was to connect. Okay, so first do your slip stitch to connect. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. That counts as your first double crochet. Now you're going to go ahead and double crochet in that same space. Okay. Now go ahead and do 1 chain and 2 more double crochets, all in that same space. Okay. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to work into the cornermost space where you had done your chain 2 before. Okay, so in that space, what you want to do is you're going to go ahead and first do a double crochet. Now chain 2 again, just like you did on the last round, and do another double crochet in that same space. Okay, now working into the other chain 1 space around that corner, we're going to do the same thing we did before. So we're going to do 2 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. Okay, so that's now continued creating that corner. So we've got your chain 3, 1 double crochet, chain 1, then 2 double crochets in that chain 1 space from before. In the chain 2 space, you do 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. Then in that next chain 1 space around the corner, you do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, so that creates your nice corner. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to do that same double crochet, chain 1 double crochet pattern as you did before, but we're going to do that in that chain space right here along each of the iris stitches. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a few of those together. All right, so we're going to do 2 double crochets. There's 2, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, now skip to the next one, find that chain 1 space, and that's what you're going to work into to do that 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet pattern. Okay, so you can see that they're going to line up just like that. And the only thing that's a little more tricky is when you get to the corners, because you're going to do that same pattern on either side, but then in that middle most corner space, you do the double crochet, 2 chained, and then 1 double crochet. Okay, so I will meet you at the next corner, and we'll just go ahead and do another corner together. Okay, so I've reached the next corner. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets in that first chain 1 space of this corner. So there's 2 double crochets, chain 1, do 2 more, all in that same space. Now in the cornermost space, you're going to go ahead and do 1 double crochet, chain 2, and then 1 more double crochet. Okay. Now in the last chain 1 space here, we're going to go ahead and do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets to finish off the corner. There's 1, and we'll do 2 more double crochets. And there we go. So that'll lay nice and flat. Again, just to go over it one more time, in that first chain 1 space, you do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. In the chain 2 corner space, you do 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. And then in that final chain 1 space, you're doing 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. Okay? So that's the pattern that you're going to do for this iris stitch border. Okay? You can make this as long as you'd like. You're just going to go ahead and repeat going between the second row and the third row. Okay, so after this one, you would go back to the second row pattern and then do the third row pattern, second row pattern, and third row pattern, as long as you want that border. Okay, or at the very end of this row, which is row 3, you could go ahead and finish it off. Once you get back to this corner here, you would do your normal iris stitch here right there, and then you would go ahead and do a slip stitch in this first chain 1 space here to connect. Okay, and that would be your end of the border. All right, we'll come back at the end so that I can show you what the blanket looks like in pictures in the end. I've had so much fun making this blanket with you guys. I really hope that you've enjoyed making this blanket with me, and that you've also gotten a chance to get your copy of Wishweaver, the first in my Tales of Whimsy series. The second book, The Wayward Wind, is already coming out in April, depending on when you're watching this video, so you could always start the series and get going with book 2 as well. All right, guys. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for joining me. And if you liked this video and you want to keep seeing more videos from me, go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Bye guys.